All right, welcome back to Wheatzer's Wood Shop. Man, do I got a cool little thing we're going to install today on the shop truck. But do I have a story to tell about Master Chief? I finally got broke down. But I can go over everything and show you what happened, and I'll tell the story while I show you how I fixed it and then how I limped it home. And so, but you know what? Hold on a second. We're from Washington. We're not used to that right now. So there we go. Whoa, there. I can see all four of my fans. Oh, sweet. All right, so today we got a kickboard carpet kit and compliments of my son Aaron. I got this for Christmas. Got two for each side. Cardboard backing. So we're gonna do a little waterproofing today, and cardboard's made out of wood, right? So we're gonna spray some urethane on the back before we put this together. And then I got some really nice stainless steel self-tappers, and we'll still pre-drill. And then that way we won't mat up the carpet, little hints like that. So, all right, let's get on with this story about the Master Chief breakdown. Let's open this up, and I will show you what I did and what happened. So as soon as I figure out how to open this thing. Oh boy, here we go. This poor thing is... All right, so move over here. All right, let's see if we can see what's going on in here. Okay, so cruising down the highway, and now we got an echo. And all of a sudden, my passenger said, "You smell antifreeze?" and I did smell antifreeze. So what happened was the heater hose that's over here started getting warm, started sagging, and I had it routed through it and everything. But I'll show you right here. Let's see if I can get rid of this. This might make a lot of shake here. There we go. All right, so there's your heater hose. That's the new stuff, the new clamps I put in. And if you follow it up, which I put those yellow, which we're going to change today, but look at where it routed right over the top of my alternator, which has an exposed fan with sharp blades on it. And going down the road, that thing sagged down into that, and voila, there was antifreeze. Now, it was everywhere. I mean, it just went everywhere, and it smelled bad. So right after that opened up, and I started imitating a locomotive going down the highway, I actually just limped it into a rest area, and noticed immediately that was there. So all I had to do, and this is what the good thing about these old trucks are, I cut this hose, but I didn't have anything to cut it. So this nice guy in an appliance service van pulled up. I don't even remember his name. And he had zip ties, he had cutters, he had everything. So we just modified the bottom hose underneath, and cut that one short, undid those heater hoses over there. Let's see if I can focus on, there you go. And then used the small hose to jump this section to the bottom section. So this one to the bottom, and then just ran a loop. So then, and no big deal. But I had to pull up, since I was in a dump site for RVs, I had to pull up to that, fill it with water, get me down to the service station, and then just get some antifreeze, and then fill it back up, and then limp it on home. So, and it ran perfect on the way home, so there was no issues about that. So that was my adventure, but not a big breakdown, not a big deal. Just gets into those scary moments. But so today we're gonna dress this up. I got some black zip ties. I put some protective Or I cut some hoses and protected them so they don't rub, and I split them so they don't sag anymore. I got new stainless steel clamps, bend this back into place, and then we're good to go. So, all right, let's get started on those carpets. All right, first things first. Second, third, fourth, fifth. First, we have to purify these. We have to waterproof those. And since, like I said, it's paper, which paper is made out of wood, and you can just use a urethane. I used a triple thick polyurethane here, so not because it's better. I just thought I'd get something that's a little, well, can you see that? All right. Something that's a little more strength. Might crust up nice, but it's a clear mat. We don't need anything glossy or shiny. And all I'm going to do is shake this bad boy up, and then we will coat this. I'm thinking probably only once, but we'll see how well it soaks in, just like you're supposed to. This has been sitting in the sun for a little while, so it got nice and warm. So, and then the nice thing about this 3X, just one coat equals triple coats of the regular stuff, so we should only have to use one coat. And I got an airplane flying over. All right, let's give this a squirt. That is thick. Make sure you get those edges. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's let that dry. All right, so here's the deal. Look at that. Nice workbench, huh? Built in. Anyway, so we're going to put that carpet kick panel right there. So the cool thing about it is what I tried to do, and you can see the different tones, I guess. That's trunk paint, and for some reason, where it's gone, it just didn't adhere. And then right here, it's finally getting crusty, I guess. But it didn't adhere because it was wet or because it was the wrong paint underneath it. I don't know what happened. So as soon as it got wet, it just ran off. So enough of that. We're just going to cover it up and leave it that way. I could sand it down. It's preserved. It doesn't matter. So, and we'll bolt that up. Now, great thing that I recommend, get yourself one of those little magnetic bolts. Now, the hardware we're using is stainless, but hopefully I can do this well. See how nice that just stays in there. Oh, there you go. Maybe it's not stainless. I thought it was. So. All right, there you have it. One thing I noticed, make sure when you put this on that this is all right, so this is what I did. It's hard to see, but I got one in. It was a little more difficult to line it up on the pre-drilled hole because this was pretty small, so you can't see the hole through here. So I got this one started, did it by hand with just a normal screwdriver, or regular screwdriver, got it through the cardboard and then into the metal, and then self-tapped it into that, so it's worked fine. So, but I'm going to do 4 across, so the easy way to do this is it's at 33 inches. So just do each one 11 inches apart, and we got one at 11, 22, and one at 33, so should be a piece of cake. So before you drill, make sure you hold that up and find that spot. Oh yeah, see, there it goes. Gosh, I did not want it to do that. Yep. All right, don't do the mistake I did. Let's get a knife and cut that out. All right, so I boogered that up really good. And if I pull on anymore, and I pulled this out. So let's I'm going to use some CA glue, really, really thin. I'm going to snip that off, and then we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to mark 11 inches, 11 inches, 11 inches, whatever. And then we'll use an awl, and I'll punch it through from that backside instead of drilling. But the big thing here is we have to figure out how we're going to put this back into place without spilling everything all over the place. So I am going to snip that section off, and I'm going to lay it back down the best I can in there. And then I'm just going to dab a little glue, and it should instantly bond. There you go. All right, got that to dry. Looks okay. It'll be covered up. And then I marked on the back 11, 11, 11. So now I'm just going to punch through. There's holes in this table. So all I got to do is punch through this cardboard, and there we have it. Should have done that a long time ago. All right, I'm hoping that worked much, much better. So we got this back into place. Now I can hold this tight. I started one screw, and I'm not even going to pre-drill. I'm just going to bore it on in. So let's see how well this works. Voila. All right. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And to torque it down a little better, that's all it takes. All right, we'll do the rest and show you the finished product. Well, good news is I got it on. Bad news is, of course, the last screw, and I tried to plug it, but it just pulled it all the way out. So here it is. Gosh dang it. So later on, this is glued already in there. This isn't that well though, so I'll have to redo that one, but there it is. Still, pre-drilling those holes, everything. You put a screw or something inside there, it just grabs those carpet fibers and pulls it right out. So the rest of them I got pretty good. So pretty happy with it. We'll do the other side, and then we're going to do a little cars and coffee today. Stand by. Okay, real quick, here's the driver's side, and I did something way different. So instead of drilling and going through there and everything, I pre-drilled everything, and then marked those holes on the back side, then pre-drilled those holes, then threaded them with the self-tappers, and then brought it off and then put it all on by hand, so nothing got tangled up. So this one absolutely perfect. So let's look at the drinker's side. Okay, so this one I repaired the best I could. I put some fuzzies in there. It looks okay. It's not great. It's still nice. It does what it's supposed to do. So I'm real happy, real happy. So next I have some pedals. There's my Bluetooth speaker, by the way. No radio in this guy. I forgot I had some pedals. I got to put those on, and then let's go take a look at what I did in the engine compartment before we take off for cars and coffee. Okay, so I got rid of all those ugly yellow ones, and then updated all those down there. Updated those, shiny. Still looks good. All right, before I forget, has anybody ever seen one of these? Let's see if I can focus on this bad boy. It's called the Fuel Master. So I ended up getting this at a garage sale, and let's see, improves fuel economy, does all that good stuff. And there's the instructions on the back. Let's see if I can get rid of that glare, so if you ever want to pause this and look at that. But this was a product of J.C. Whitney. Anybody remember that? I haven't heard of that in a long time. So there it is, J.C. Whitney, part number and everything. So it's supposed to improve your gas mileage. So I thought it was cool. I'm gonna put it on there anyway. All right, let's get on the road. There's the before. Slippery buggers. And there's the after. Ooh, bingo night, here we come. Well, casino for us. Cars and coffee, here it is.
It's not the octane boosters. You know, some say, well, they say it is octane, but in actuality,
that beauty. Nice bat. Eurovan. Clean S10. Look at this guy. Oh man. Well, we made it back. What a cool trip that was. Weather's getting nicer. A lot of these cars are really starting to pop out. Beautiful cars in there today. Lots of trucks today. Lots more than normal. So, but I think, oh, how'd that get in there? I think we'll chill out a little bit and just kind of reminisce about how fun it is to get in a 60-year-old truck or any 60-year-old vehicle, drive down the road with no worries, just pure reliability, just all motor, lots of rattles, lots of noises. It's just pure classic. It's just so, it's road therapy, 100% road therapy. So, but with all good things, it has to come to an end, and I'm gonna pour myself a little old-fashioned, probably sit down later, have a cigar, and reminisce about my day. So thanks again, Aaron, for the kick plates, or the kick carpets. So those worked out really good. So I can't wait to see what else you guys get me. So it'll be fun to just show this install. So got to get this truck ready for the shop. So, but what a neat experience, meeting new people, meeting some really amazing car enthusiasts, getting together with people and getting ideas. It just never ends. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching Wheatzer's Woodshop. Hope you like this episode of the resurrection or the preservation of the shop truck. So pretty soon we'll get some of those magnets on the side, Wheatzer's Woodshop, and we'll call it good. But it's still a beautiful day out. What a perfect day for this type of stuff. Hummingbirds, bumblebees, birds are chirping all over the place. People outside working in the yard. Which reminds me, I gotta mow my yard here pretty quick. So with all the crap going on in the world today, I forgot all about it. Just amazing stuff to be able to get in something like this and put down the road. All right, everybody, thanks for watching Wheatzer's Woodshop. Like and subscribe. We're not.